Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of your favorite morning show concerning your favorite football team. No, this is not alcohol. This is electrolytes right here, folks. I need it, right? Like your boy needs to stay hydrated when he absolutely can. Let me chug this real fast, all right? Because I know all of you are wondering, how fast can Dan Mitchell chug? Well, let's find out. Spoiler alert, not very fast. Hold on. Electrolytes, baby. It's the power that gets you done. If you're trying to get hydrated, you go on ahead and you damn get hydrated, folks. Welcome to another edition. Like I said, guys, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't had an opportunity of doing so far. As many of you guys know, my goal is 40,000 subscribers by the end of the regular season. 5 weeks left, and I never would have thought, right, that 12 weeks, 13 weeks into the season, that the Buffalo Bills would have already ended up clinching the AFC East. I heard something crazy earlier, right? And it's this. We are the first team in NFL history to win our division without playing one of the teams in our division at all. We have not played the New England Patriots whatsoever. And look at that. We already have a hat. We already have a damn t-shirt. All right. Obviously, this is a celebratory week. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to make some transitions over into the Buffalo Bills and the LA Rams game as well. But today's topic, as many of you guys know, is Josh Allen, MVP, right? Josh Allen, MVP. And I've been getting some haters like rolling on into the chat. Like some people saying, oh, no, look at his statistics. And how ballsy of these fools to go out. And mostly it's TD Fins talk. Mostly it's Richie that say, oh, man, come on, dude. What about Lamar Jackson? Look at his stats. And I sit there and I look at them fools and I say, okay, what exactly burp right there. What exactly justified Josh Allen not winning the MVP last year? Since stats is really all that matters. No, not at all. It's about who's the most valuable player to that damn team. And it just so happens to be Josh Allen where it stands today. Holy shit, I am a burpy guy, boys. I'm a burpy guy today. Josh, it's very fitting for the MVP. Will more than likely go to the most overrated player in the league and the best trash talker, man. This has been nothing. And I mean, I even ended up putting out a video a long time ago where I said, I am so glad that Josh Allen has some bulletin board material going into the 2024 season. It is absolutely insane. Guys, 100 of you in the chat right now, 68 of you on YouTube, 31 of you over on X. Smash that like button. There's no reason why we shouldn't be up at 50 already. And do me a favor, start roll calling in the chat right now. Let me know where you were tuning in from, what team you are representing. And I also want to remind everybody, I'm giving away that Christian Benford jersey. The Christian Benford jersey, folks. All right, I'm announcing the winner during my live game reaction, Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. If you want to be a part of my signed giveaways, folks, you absolutely have to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. And once this stream is over, you must leave a comment on this video, not the live chat. So just go on ahead and just once the stream is over, later on in the day, just make a mental note, leave a comment on this video. And let me know your thoughts, baby. I'm going to be picking a random video that I do this on, a random person. So if you've already left a comment on a previous video, might as well do it again. Might as well do it again, man. Go on ahead and push out as many things as humanly possible. Josh Allen should have won last year, but was entirely screwed over. I totally get it. I totally am picking up what you were putting down. Allen, Milo, come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Sit down. Okay. So I'm watching my family dog. All right. Sad story. He has diabetes. He was just diagnosed and he's blind. He's completely blind. He lost his eyesight about 2 days ago. It's very sad. But he's still my little buddy. So I've been taking care of him all day. I have to give him insulin and I'm not a needles guy, right? Like I hate giving needles away, right? So I'm going to have to do that in about an hour. So I hope that I don't get bit up, my friends, but anything for my little buddy Milo. Milo, stop sniffing around. There's a lot of beer caps on the floor. We're going to keep this up. You're going to be okay. Sit down. Sit down. We're going to be all right. Poor little guy. I know. That's what I said. That's what I said. You know what I mean? He's completely blind, but that's all right. That's all right. I was trying to like switch his name up to Ray Charles, but Unfortunately, it hasn't worked. He's 10 years old, so we're going to have to figure that out real fast. Let's go, Buffalo from Florida. Chanel Z is in the chat. Guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe, and also, damn, let me know where you're tuning in from. That is for sure. We have Teresa saying, oh, I know. It's sad, right? It's really sad. 3-0 postseason. We get the first seed. There you go, buddy. Lay down. Don't eat any of my Zins. There you go. Don't eat any Zins on the floor, buddy. That's the question. That's the question. We don't want him eating any Zins on the floor, folks. That's for damn sure. All right, back to business. Poor little guy. I know, Jenny. I know. It's sad, right? All right, speaking of MVP, Dan was the MVP of the AFC East roundtable the other night while TD was showing the delusional is strong with him, saying he would take Lamar over Josh Allen. I've had enough, right? Like, I have been taking so many delusional takes for the longest time of my relationship with Richie and TD Finstock. Come here, buddy. Stop eating shit. Stop eating shit, boy. Thank you. Some wild stuff. Some wild stuff right there. But, Mike, I'm going to tell you what, dude. I ended up and finally stuck up for myself. I was like, you know what, dude? I've had enough of this. It's not going to happen. We're going to be completely fine here. Good morning, Dan. Josh Allen will win the MVP this year for sure. He is so good. Let's go, Buffalo. Dang, what's up, Dan? What's up, bro? How you doing today, man? How you doing today? Let's go, Buffalo. RTR, Amari Cooper from Alabama. Damn. That's my guy. That's my guy. He's from Alabama. He's rocking it. Let's see the dog, Dan. Red Pill TMB. Come here, Milo. Come here, buddy. Come here, pal. And the people want to see you. Oh, I'm sorry, bud. Come here. There he is. Here's little Milo. Oh, he's blind. Milo, look at that. Yeah. He's blind. He's blind, but that's all right. That's all right. Put you down real fast, buddy, old pal. You'll be good. You'll be good. Been watching this guy for a minute. He's now a part of the Bills Mafia. He's now a part of the lore, baby. He's now a part of the lore. Richie Fresh is coming in saying, I'd actually be worried about the Steelers in the playoffs. Steelers better than last year. Thoughts? I would actually be worried about the Steelers in the playoffs. Steelers better than last year. I'll be completely honest with you, man. I think the Steelers look damn good as well. And then the Broncos. Watch out for that defense. If Jameis Winston didn't become Jameis Winston in the final quarter of that game, who in the hell knows what would have happened? Some crazy stuff over here, man. Crazy stuff over here. Oh, Prison Mike is coming on in. Oh, my God, so cute. Look at that. Josh is going to win both MVPs, Super Bowl MVP and also regular MVP. I absolutely love that. Such a good doggo. Absolutely, man. He's the goodest of boys. He's the goodest of boys. MVP is supposed to be about a player who raises a team up that doesn't have great players around him. Lamar has Henry, who's actually the reason why Lamar has his stats. And listen, I try telling that to people, right? Like I try telling that to people and they look at me like I'm fucking insane. And I feel like I'm being gaslit, right? And let me know. I mean, maybe you guys are just feeding into my bias because we all love the Buffalo Bills too. So maybe I'm just asking the wrong crowd because I know that 90% of you are going to agree with me here, but it sounds educated, right? You would think that if you have a running back of the caliber of Derrick Henry, vast majority of the defensive looks you're going to see is more than the normal men in the box. You're going to be stacking the box more times than not. Even with Lamar Jackson's running ability on top of that, if I'm a defensive coordinator, that's the first thing I'm doing. I'm like, damn, I'm probably going to get completely destroyed. And then you have Justice Hill in the backfield as well. That is a massive threat as far as the passing game, all those little swing passes. So you're damn right I'm playing up close. And people are trying to tell me that it's crazy to suggest that all passing opportunities in the middle of the field and later in the field or further in the field are completely out of the way. Buddy, come here. Come here. Stop eating those, dude. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You gotta stop eating stuff, bro. You gotta stop eating stuff, all right? Here. Lay down, buddy. Take a nap. So I got to vacuum this place up, boys. I got to vacuum this place up. Sincerest apologies about that. Too bad for the Chiefs. Too bad Chiefs are three-peating. Somebody came in. Mr. Intamin. Mr. Intamin. Where the hell you been, you sad-ass Dolphins fan? You been sad all year? You been sad for 2 more ass beatings that the Buffalo Bills ended up laying to you? Dude, I know you're seething. I know you are seething right now. Oh, that once again, this Buffalo Bills team is 10-2. I know that your dusty ass right now is sitting there crying over your shit takes all offseason that since we lost Stephon Diggs, we were going to be trash. But you know what, Mr. Intimate? There is a reason that you're sitting in your house with your Dorito-stained wife beater, haven't seen your own cock in 3 years, and you're looking and you're like, damn, Mitchell knows ball, and I don't know ball. That's right, Mr. Intamin. That's right, Mr. Intamin. Where the hell you been, bro? You coming in here with all this delusional stuff, man. Sad-ass Dolphins fan, bro. Sad-ass Dolphins fan over there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Mr. Intamin. That's what I'm saying, Mr. Intamin. Chill on the Doritos, fool. Chill on the Doritos, dog. Anyway, Dan really hit me with that. I did, and you deserved it. Richie Fresh coming in. Dude, you're a unit. I caught that. Walking sideways through the door frame. Thank you so much, bro. You see them cheeks, bro? Fucking crazy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, dude. My buddy Thomas is backstage. You just ended up seeing that right before I bring him in. Dad, you also have to give credit to Lamar's receivers since they make plays from crappy passes. Absolutely. I would do everything we can do to get that bye week. And Mr. Intamin says, I love you too. I love you too, buddy. I'm just kidding with you, bro. You know that's part of my shtick. I talk shit. So I appreciate the people that come in here and talk shit so I can display my absolute crazy stuff. We have C. Rose is liking that. Leong Lee. Oh, look at that, man. We're killing it. But speak of the devil. What's going on, man? It's been a while. Thomas. Tom, you there? Tom. So am I crazy? Hey, buddy, you here? Hey, listen, he's on the road right now. He's working. He could be doing something real fast. Sorry, guys. He's getting used to my crib. Real fast, man. I'm back for good. I promise. 183 of you in here rocking me right now. 125 on YouTube, 58 on X. Thomas, what up, dude?
Apologize for that. I don't know what happened to my internet, but hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, man. How you feeling?
I'm good.
It's been a while since we chatted.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but I'll tell you, I can't help but feel good being 10-2 as a Bills fan, and heading into my favorite time of the year, right before Christmas.
It's funny, man, because I was talking to Kevin yesterday about it, and I was like, it's funny how like 365 days could mean the world. Because after week 12 and week 13 of last year, like we were all 6-6, and we were busting out the playoff machines trying to figure out a way to get into the playoffs in the first place. And now we're the first team in NFL history that has won the division without playing at least one of our divisional opponents once, which makes it even crazier at the end of the day.
It certainly is, a very interesting season. But I mean, think about that. That's what the NFL is. There's parity to every single year. And I mean, the Chiefs alone are probably the biggest statement to that, because look at their record and look at what you really think they are. I mean, their record is not indicative of truly how good they are. And then you look at the Ravens, who are 8-5, and their stats say they're a much better team than that record. So, that's the wild thing, is you look at one year to another, and you go from being a team that was questionable to a team that was supposed to be questionable, but now you're 10-2, and kind of the favorite to potentially be in the Super Bowl from the AFC.
It's funny. It's funny, man, because like we've been here before with expectations, but things just feel a little bit different. It's funny because Sean McDermott hit this podium and he said, obviously, our next goal is the 1 seed. Do we believe that? Right? Because with Kevin the other day, he was saying something pretty intriguing. And he was saying, you know what? I think this coaching staff's number one priority is more so going in fully healthy, opposed to actually end up getting that number 1 overall seed. Second will be great, third will be great, etc. Some people are on the we need that 1 seed, and others are just like, you know what? If we continue to go down the schedule with the Chiefs, because I agree with you, I don't think that this team is as invincible as people are trying to make them out to be. I have seen comparisons to the 2020 Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're going to lose against the Chargers this upcoming week. I think the Steelers are going to take care of them later on in the season. But if Patrick Mahomes continues to like have a shred of a horseshoe up his ass, lucky as hell, like refs stepping in with timely flags being thrown, maybe it would make sense to, if, for example, rather than us chasing the Chiefs all the way down to the wire until week 18, just going ahead and accept it at one point and make sure that the last time we see our starters is the first half of the Jets game, and then we end up getting the bye week in that category. Where do you think priorities are for this team truly? 1 seed or fully healthy?
I think it's a little bit of both. And I know that's kind of a cop-out of an answer, but in reality, you can't tell me that this Bills team would not like to have every advantage afforded to them.
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is the 1 seed gives you not only the bye week, but it also gives you the ability to have home field throughout. And whether people believe home field is an advantage or not, the Bills have a 17-5 record at home in the playoffs all time. Like that, it is an absolute advantage for the Bills. You stay in your own bed, you wake up to your own family, you drive in the same way that you drive to your home games every other week. It's your own locker, same regiment. Like there's little nuances to having that advantage that you just don't get when you're on the road. Aside from the fact that your own fans, man, having your fans there is a huge thing. Having quiet on offense and loud on defense. Those little nuances are important. So I know that they want that, but to the other side, do they want to be able to be healthy? Certainly. Of course they do. And I think that having that late bye that they did was really important. It was so timely for a team that really desperately needed it, with Milano and Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid and Spencer Brown and Dwayne Carter. I mean, a lot of very important pieces to this team. So I think right now we're looking good. You're trending in the right direction, and they're going to do everything they can to put this team in position to be successful. But I think it's a little bit of both. If they can find a way, and like they, last night they were talking to Sean around like 4:30, and they asked him, how do you balance the necessity to wanting to get to that 1 seed over making sure that you're also keeping the team kind of focused on the task at hand? And he said it's an incredibly difficult thing because right? Like, what you want to be is the end goal. They want the Super Bowl. That proverbial monkey on the back for him and Josh and the rest of the franchise. If they can get a Super Bowl, that changes everything, right? But at that same time, they also have to play, like, to get to that goal, they have to take each week by what it is and win every matchup and win every game. And, like, if they can get there and because they have the tiebreaker with the Chiefs, then every week they're going to address it as status quo. Right. But if it gets to the point where the Chiefs don't lose and the game's out of hand and it comes to week 18 and it's against the Jets, they'll probably not play the starters for most of the game just to give them a little bit of respite going into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's funny to say that because the second I saw those snowy conditions, right, and I saw Matt Milano's face out there, I was like, I swear to God that if he goes out there and has some sort of non-contact injury, like first couple of plays that he's out there, I'm absolutely going to lose it. Unfortunately, we saw that from the San Francisco 49ers when we saw that absolutely terrible injury from Christian McCaffrey. But regardless, we ended up coming out on top. But now we have a schedule ahead of us, right? And then I really already know your answer about the Rams game on Sunday. I feel like that's pretty much consensus at that point. A lot of weaknesses on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm very confident. I mean, not unless like some of our guys come out there sleeping, since they already have that sense of, oh yeah, we already crushed it, we're good. But I think the game that everybody is obsessing over right now has to be the Detroit Lions game the week afterwards, right? And I feel like everyone outside of Bills Mafia is really chalking that up as a loss. I really don't feel the exact same way because I look at their injury report. I honestly think that they are dealing with a very similar situation, specifically within their linebacker room, where they have like a third and a fourth string guy out there because they've lost quite a bit in that overall sort of middle of the field. So I have the Bills actually lining up with them very, very well. But it's just the Bills fan in me that I'm like, it's either that this Bills team wins out for the remainder of the season, or we end up dropping like a stinker. So against one of the remaining divisional rounds at the end of the day. So I think my question is, where is your mind as far as how we end up finishing? And let's assume that it's neck and neck with the Chiefs for the first seed all the way down to the end.
Well, I'll say this. It's any given Sunday. So, yeah, could it happen that they, shit the bed against a team you shouldn't? Yeah, of course. I mean, The Patriots are no pushover. I've seen them play some tough teams, and they've done well. So you play them 2 times in 3 weeks, man. Shit happens. Like, it's kind of a weird kind of situation. But the Bills this past Sunday played in a blizzard, put 35 points against, even if Nick Bosa wasn't playing, and, Diamador Lenore wasn't playing, still a pretty darn good 49ers team. They put 35 points on their head without Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid. That tells you something. This team is ascending, not descending. They are finding their groove just at the right time. I'm not particularly afraid of the Rams. I think that they've got 2 good receivers, and that's just about it. Kyron Williams can really hurt you, but outside of that, their defense is kind of subpar. I don't know. Matt Stafford has games where he just looks incredibly pedestrian. So it just depends on what version of that team. If you get the really good Matt Stafford, who is connected with Puka Nacua and why am I blanking on the other receiver's name? Cooper Kupp. Thank you. If he's locked in with those 2, they can put some hurt on you. But I suspect that not being the case. The Lions, really what it comes down to, man, like I love Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta is not that guy this year. He's having that kind of sophomore slump, which is fine. The real dangerous point to them is David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, man. Those 2 can shred you. Jahmyr Gibbs' speed off the edge is dangerous. And David Montgomery's vision in between the tackles is, it's elite. So it just comes down to, if you can handle business there, I fully anticipate the Bills are going to run the table. None of the last 3 division opponents, the Bills should take care of them handily. They're a significantly better team than between the Jets and the Patriots. The Jets are an absolute tire fire right now. And the Patriots, quite frankly, the one thing about McDermott is he eats rookies for lunch. Drake May is going to have to deal with a very smart defensive coordinator in Bobby Babich and his leader in that entire thing in Sean McDermott. So could there be an instance where they have a tough opponent like the Lions and things just kind of come off the tracks and the Lions get the better of them? Certainly. But man, the Bills right now, the way that they're playing, they're on a 7-game winning streak right now and playing some of the best football, getting healthy at the right moment. And Josh Allen looks really good, and he didn't do a whole lot against the 49ers. I think they're going to be a tough out for anybody. And anybody that thinks otherwise is just being naive to the fact that you just saw the Bills put 35 on the 49ers and Josh threw the ball 13 times.
Yeah. No, man. I think that this team is certainly ascending, like you said. And really, when it comes down into it, it doesn't matter specifically when it comes down into injuries of the offense. I think injuries on the defense might catch up to us eventually if we were to ever run into that scenario, right? Like last year, that comes to mind. This is when our linebackers were completely thin. I still would have all the confidence in the world, even going into the playoffs, with a couple here and there missings within the offense, but on the defense, not so much. And it's funny because we have a playoff spot. It's nice. Like, we're sitting high. We know that we are playing some January football. But a question that always comes into my mind is, what is the ideal path, right? Like, what are the teams that we think would be the most ideal for this Bills team to actually be able to book their ticket to New Orleans? Like, we look at the teams that are more than likely going to make it. I mean, I think the Steelers are going to win the AFC North, and so I think they proved that. I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to make that one wild card spot. I think it's probably going to be about the 6th, perhaps. I think the Chargers as well. I think the Broncos are going to sneak in. And then the Houston Texans, who I think are complete frauds. I think that they're going to be first rounded, will ultimately end up getting that 4th seed. If you had to like pick a perfect path to the Super Bowl as far as opponents, who are you taking?
So I had this conversation yesterday, and I apologize, I'm eating at the same time.
No problem.
So I know a lot of people say like there's two schools of thought. One of them is, people want to make sure they go through the Chiefs because they don't want to give them any reason to say anything.
Yeah, who cares?
I'm on the other side. I don't give a shit. Like, if we're being completely transparent, I don't care how you win. And I've said this before when it comes to winning the Super Bowl or winning games in the NFL. Nobody looks back and nobody cares. Like, in 20 years, I'm not going to sit there and talk to my son and be like, hey, see, listen, we won the Super Bowl, but no, I don't care. You win the Super Bowl, you win the Super Bowl. That trophy sits at One Bills Drive for eternity. There's no asterisk. There's no, like, it is what it is. You win, period. And so I personally don't care. I don't think there's a team in the AFC that scares me. I don't care about playing the Ravens or the Steelers. Like, I don't really care about playing any of them. I think the Bills are perfectly content taking out any opponent because I think they've got a good defense. I think their offense is starting to come together. They're getting healthy. And when they saw Keon Coleman and Amari Cooper, albeit for a very limited time, together on the field, it was a really impressive performance. Yeah. So I don't think there's a specific, like, I don't want to just kind of sidestep the question, but I don't think there's a specific way. Like, I could go through the Chiefs and be perfectly happy. I could miss the Chiefs somehow. Maybe they get eliminated their first game, which wouldn't stun me, and still be ecstatic if you made it to the Super Bowl and won. Like, I think that at the end of the day, without, kind of being cheap here, I don't really care how you win a Super Bowl. I just, even if it's using that old adage, just one in my lifetime, just win. I don't care. Like, it doesn't, I'm not going to like feel a certain way if the Bills do it and it's not the conventional method. Like, whatever. Like, if you go through the Chiefs and you win, great. If you don't go through the Chiefs, they're still going to give up some bullshit excuse anyway. I don't care. Like, and I've heard people say, like, if you win, they're going to come in. I've heard Chiefs fans say too, now you got to catch up to us. Like, they're going to give you some shit no matter how you win it. So just win it, and then we'll enjoy it from there.
Yeah. No. Yeah, man. I totally understand that. I ideally would like to avoid the Baltimore Ravens. I do like reminding people that we were missing out on our 3 best defensive players during that game as well. So, like, I think that we would favor up a bit better. And I understand their history in the playoffs as well. Although that they have an entire different roster. This is an entire different team. But still, ideally, I would love for it to be, like, first round, like we end up playing like the Steelers, the Broncos, and or the Chargers. I think that would be ideal. And I probably have to agree with you as well. I think there's a real possibility. And I'm sorry to the Chiefs fans, the diehard Chiefs fans from 2019, born and raised in New Hampshire, for what I'm about to say. But it's very realistic. It is very realistic that I could see this team, this Kansas City Chiefs team, being first rounded this year. And they're just not playing good football.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the Chiefs. I look at them and I say, how? You know,
Right?
in all real, how does this keep happening? Because and I think part of it, and I told somebody this the other day, when you are winners, you find a way to win. It is what it is, and it's kind of the same to the flip side of the coin. Bad teams find ways to lose. I mean, look at the Jets, the Raiders, the Browns forever. Like, it's just unfortunately ingrained in your DNA, you know? And not to kind of like put it on a person, but like you kind of see people that kind of fail at life and they continually find ways to make mistakes. Like if you are wanting to succeed, you will succeed. And Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, they have that DNA inside of them. They've won so many Super Bowls. They are winning as a franchise. When you have that ingrained in you, you find ways to win. It is what it is. And as annoying as that is, Bills fans would love to have that same thing, right? And we do for the most part. We're 10-2. Like shit, we have two losses in 4 months. Like that's nuts. So like I just think at this point the Chiefs are due to have a loss. Like you can't just be that lucky forever and avoid the inevitable that's going to happen. And they're playing 3 good quarterbacks in consecutive weeks. One of them is going to get them gone.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen.
Yeah. No, man. It's see, as much as people like saying, oh, like they have the refs in their pocket and stuff along those lines, like, yeah, I get that narrative, but at the exact same time, like they're really playing with fire, right? Like all of these one-score games could have very easily went the other way. And that 11-1 record for me, like I really haven't seen like any like dominant performances or many dominant performances from this Kansas City Chiefs team, as I have seen from like the Bills of the world, the Lions of the world, etc. Last topic, and then I'm gonna let you go. Josh Allen, man. I think this is the year. I think every single sports book and just about each and every single person on the national media, all talking heads, are at a general consensus that Josh Allen is going to win the MVP. But then, of course, you have some people coming in saying, oh, well, what about Lamar Jackson? His stats are a lot better. And that was wildly frustrating because it was the exact opposite case scenario last year. Do you think that Josh Allen ultimately ends up pulling in this MVP award? What needs to happen for him not to? What's your case to make him the league's MVP?
Well, yes, I think he's going to win it. I think here's the thing. There's only one person that I think could take it from him, and that's Saquon Barkley, right? Yeah. That's the only person. Because you have to win your division to win the MVP. They're not going to give it to Lamar, who is 8-5. Sorry. No. You talk about the last year making a joke out of the MVP. That would absolutely just decimate whatever is left of the allure of the MVP. So then you kind of go to, okay, is it Jared Goff? Jared Goff is not going to win it over Josh Allen. They're going to look at conference record, who he's playing, teams in that conference, whatever. And then you look at Saquon, right? And I actually had this exact conversation yesterday in pretty big length, because I am of the belief that the league would do everything in its power not to give an MVP to a running back. And there's 2 reasons behind that. Yeah. One, it's a quarterback-driven league, period. Yeah. When you look at who's the face of the NFL, it is almost always quarterbacks. And even before that, or even after that, well before it gets to running backs, it's defensive ends. You're talking wide receiver. Like they are basically, and you saw there was a concerted effort amongst not only like team owners, but kind of the league itself to diminish the like whatever the value of a running back was. I mean, they basically made it where you were not paying a running back shit. Like, and as good as Saquon is, and like he probably is going to break Eric Dickerson's record, I just cannot foresee a world where they give a running back who touches the ball less than a third of the time of a quarterback an MVP. Because here's my thing. You take Saquon off of the Eagles and you take Josh off of the Bills are going to suffer dramatically. I think the Eagles will find a way to still stay afloat because they still have a quarterback, right? Like Jalen Hurts, even though I don't necessarily like him as a quarterback, will still be more than sufficient to keep that team relevant, right? Because he did it last year and they didn't have this level of Saquon Barkley, right? So I think it just comes down to, when you look at the NFL, it's a quarterback driven league, and the only thing that could really derail Josh from getting this is either by injury or him absolutely just pissing down his leg. And I just don't see that happening. He has played some of the best football of his career. He's played efficient, smart, mature football, and he is doing exactly what they held against him for the last 7 years. He has 5 interceptions. They finally have him where they want him to give him this award. I just cannot see a world where they've been trying to put the crown on this guy. Now he has done what they wanted him to do. It just makes too much sense. He's a darling of the league. He's the face of the NFL alongside Lamar and Patrick. Giving him an MVP gives them another guy that they can really use as a beacon for the NFL, a good guy NFL player.
Yeah. No, yeah, man. I mean, I 100% agree with you as well. And I think it's important as well, right? Like, this is what Z-Bot said a long time ago. He said, like, just imagine, like, worst case scenario, right? That the Bills don't ultimately end up winning a Super Bowl during the Josh Allen era, right? And like, we're trying to explain to our kids how great he truly was 20, 30 years down the road. And we have nothing to show for it. Right now, like, I'm confident that this team will end up raising a Lombardi. I'm hoping it's this year. I think this is the year. This is the best team we have had since 1991. But when we're trying to explain to our kids how great Josh Allen was, and they're like, oh, okay, like, what has he done? Like, okay, no Super Bowl ring. Oh, no MVP. Well, that Patrick Mahomes guy has a couple, and that Lamar Jackson has a couple as well. Where is his? I think it's important for an individual basis, because making it to the Super Bowl is a team accomplishment. Right. And that's not something I feel like people really talk about enough. But an MVP is truly individual. And I'd have to agree with Z-Bot. I'd have to agree with that yes, I do care about the MVP. I do care about it. Maybe not as much as a Super Bowl ring, but for Josh Allen's sake, I think that he needs it. I think that he wants it.
Yeah, I mean, let's be fair. As much as Josh is a team player and all the coach speak or PR jargon that he just throws out there and shills people with, the guy's a gamer. Like, at the end of the day, he still would love to have, like, everybody loves to feel like what they did was worth it, right? Like that their life had meaning in whatever fashion that might be. Like, for me, that's my children. For other people, it might be their career. For some people, it's their faith. For Josh Allen, his football acumen and everything he's done to this point, from when he was in Fireball to then going to JUCO and then Wyoming and being 7th overall and then just climbing and ascending to where he is now. And MVP is the, outside of winning a Super Bowl, right? Like, it's a testament to your career, to what you did. It's something that will forever be, like, all pro, forever be attached to your name. And there's only one per year, right? Like, so, like, there's the fraternity of MVPs is very illustrious. So yes, as much as he wants to sit there and kind of out of one side of his mouth act like, like it doesn't matter, it does to him. And it does to a lot of people. It matters to Brandon Beane. It matters to Sean McDermott. It matters to Bobby Babich. It matters to his receivers and his linemen and in this entire city of Buffalo, and the fans across the entire world who love the Bills, or the people in Wyoming who love Josh, or people in his hometown. Like, it matters because it is a culmination of his entirety of his career that he has worked so goddamn hard to get to. So, it's awesome that he's right here, that he's ascending. You're seeing he's proving so many people wrong, and it would be awesome. It would be awesome for Bills fans to have that. It'd be awesome for him to have that. And I think it would be great because, quite frankly, he deserves it. Let's be fair. He's deserved it before. He deserved it last year, but they gave it to, Lamar because he had too many interceptions. Like, they've done it before and they've taken it away from him, even though he was 100% right there and he was the best quarterback in the league. In 2020, he should have won it, but they gave it to Aaron Rodgers. Like, at some point, you got to give this guy his just due because he is. I'm sorry. Like, this year, he's the best quarterback in the league, and it's not fucking close. It's not close. He is better than Lamar. He's better than in Patrick. He's better than better than Jared Goff. Like, he's just the best quarterback. What he does on a game by game basis, knowing where to be, understanding the relevance of football. Man, I'm sorry. Like, I get heated about this stuff because the guy he's the best person as a person, but he's the best on the field too, and he does it for the right reasons, the right way, and dude, it'd be awesome.
In the year of 2024, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league. Like, people will be like, "Oh, what about Patrick Mahomes? He has the rings." I'm like, folks, 2024, no one is playing better football than Josh Allen. When everybody wrote us off and said that he was a Diggs merchant, that he lost all of his weapons. Like, we even heard everybody in the national media say that if Josh Allen can win this division and lead his team to the playoffs, he better win MVP. Because what he's going to have to do is go nuclear. And he has gone nuclear outside of a couple of games, week 4 and week 5. But everyone doesn't want to talk about the fact that we had a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball, and dude was still fresh into his hand injury, my friend. I really don't even think that he was at full strength until about week 8. And so I'm not sure about you, but like, I think that hand injury he suffered on week 1 was a hell of a lot more significant than what the Bills wanted us to believe.
Oh, certainly. And the other part about it is if you just look at like they talk most valuable player. What does that mean? Like, if you really contextualize that, what you break that down, his value to the Bills is, I mean, there's very few people in the NFL that have that same quantification, right? Like, I think Patrick Mahomes obviously has that. I think Lamar Jackson has that. But Josh is even further because Josh runs the ball a shit ton, right? Like, he's the reason behind them being successful when it comes to that passing game and being able to do things. But there's another side of that. This dude doesn't miss any games. He is an Iron Man in the NFL. He's literally not missed a game his entire career.
He's
that right there, seriously, that holds so much value that he's always going to be available to your team. That right there holds an immeasurable amount of value. So that's why when I talk about this type of stuff, like, there is so much more to Josh Allen. And people talk about, like, oh, Lamar's valuable. And, Josh last year was 84% of the Bills' offense in comparison to 69% for Lamar. Like, Josh is everything to this team, everything. And like you said, he's doing this with a brand new offense. The only person that caught balls from him last year was Shakir, and he did it 34 times. Like, he's doing this with a brand new offense. So, like, the fact that he is able to accomplish this all on the fly with brand new pieces, a brand new team, without all this, and he's really the leader. He's the only returning captain. It's an improbable feat. The fact that he's 10-2, the best record since 1991, and they're doing it in spite of every person saying that they couldn't or shouldn't or wouldn't.
No, man. It is definitely, it's nice, folks. Listen, like Thomas and I just said, something drastic would have to happen for him not to win this. I'm pretty sure that they already started to engrave his name on that trophy. Well, folks, I have to go on ahead and shout out my boy Thomas over here. If you want some stellar content, I highly recommend that you go on ahead and you follow Thomas over on X at the Thomas DeLouse right here. Just go on ahead and show him some love over on X. And he's also launching a brand new show. All right. Charge Buffalo Sports Podcast with our good friend Sterling Furrow. What's going on with this? Talk to us.
Well, we are finishing up some last things on the back end because we're going to be running with OBS and OBS Ninja, which is a little bit more intensive, not invasive.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit more technical. So we're just making sure everything.
Big leagues right there, brother. That's big leagues. I'm still on StreamYard.
All of our dots, or all of our I's dotted and T's crossed. But very, very soon we're going to be launching, and I'd probably say in a couple of weeks, just making sure we're all set to rumble. But come check us out. We're going to be. We haven't really picked a night of the week yet, but we'll be kind of going live here and there sporadically as things happen, and not like Dan. I don't have the ability to go live like Dan all the time. But man, I'll tell you, we are excited to get rolling, and we appreciate all the support and looking forward to it.
Yeah. Folks, listen, I just ended up putting the channel link right in the live chat. Mods, if you could do me a favor and pin that to the top of the chat, that would be ideal. Guys, go ahead and subscribe to these guys. Let's get them over to 150 subscribers before their first episode. I know that we can do it. Just go ahead and knock that out for our good friend, Thomas. Well, guys, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you guys for tuning in on yet another edition of Dom Mafia Live. As always, I will be live later today on BetUS TV's The Huddle, and then also during my late afternoon stream. Love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. I'm giving away that signed Christian Benford jersey. You have to be a subscriber in order to be a part of these contests. And I will see you later.